be Mr. Olympia. I gotta be Mr. Olympia. I gotta do it. You know what? I'm not satisfied. I'm putting on more weight. I want to beat him. Come on, go 10 pounds. Please, I'm gonna go 10 pounds. 10 pounds each side? Yeah. I'll do it. I'll do it. Still. Alright, to those of you that don't know, that was just a little reenactment from the movie Pumping Iron when Ferrigno was playing for Arnold. For some reason that came to mind when I thought about the 2017 Mr. Olympia. The 2017 Mr. Olympia, obviously once again, is Phil Heath. He's the 7-time Olympia. He made history. He tied Arnold. He's the 4th man in history to have 7 Sandows, man, which is a great accomplishment. When I watched Generation Iron, I really didn't too much care for Phil Heath because he came across as a pompous, arrogant, just asshole, man. But you know what? When I thought about it, I said, you know what? The guy is just confident. You know, he's confident in what he does. He's confident in his abilities, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think that Phil Heath is probably the most disrespected Olympia of all time. Like, Arnold talked a lot of shit. Arnold was arrogant, but Arnold is the most beloved bodybuilder of all time. Even though Ronnie Coleman has the record number of Sandows, but when you think about bodybuilding, the first name comes to mind is Arnold. He was arrogant, he was cocky, but at the same time, he was likable. You liked him, he was charismatic, and that's what transcended into the big screen. Whereas Phil Heath just talks a lot of shit. Like, he's just a trash talker, man. I mean, but the guy has a background in basketball, you know, and to anybody that plays basketball, a lot of guys that play ball talk a lot of shit. So Phil Heath brought that mentality, you know, from the court to the bodybuilding stage. So I don't think he means any harm by it. That's just his competitive nature. The guy just talks a lot of shit, but you can't deny his greatness. I mean, he's looked good every Olympia that he's won. But I will say I did notice the gut, okay? But then again, all these bodybuilders have that fucking roid gut. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's nothing new. You know, all these guys had it. Personally speaking, when I watched the Olympia last night, I thought Phil looked great. All those guys looked great. Like, the thing that surprised me was that I thought Phil was going to run away with this one easily like he did last year. But this year, it was Big Ramy. Big Ramy actually gave Phil a run for his money, and it got to a point where I thought he was going to win. When Big Ramy stood next to Phil, when they was posing against each other, he dwarfed Phil big time. He made Phil look small. And Phil is a big guy. Like, Phil has the best arms in the business, and Big Ramy made him look tiny. Now, I say where Big Ramy went wrong, where I feel like, I mean, if I was a judge, I would have picked him. But I'm not going to argue against the judge's decision because when you really look at it, I mean, it's apples and oranges, like they say. But Phil had a smaller waist, okay? His conditioning looked a little better, and his posing was a lot better. I thought Phil was a better poser than Big Ramy was. And I think that Big Ramy's weaknesses was his posing. Like, when he did certain poses, he didn't keep it for long enough to really see what he was doing. But this is the best that I've seen Big Ramy look. Like, he was shredded, he was huge, but you really didn't get to see that with his posing. I thought his posing was weak, and I thought his conditioning could have been a little better. So I think when it's all said and done, Phil, I don't know if I could say that he's better than Ronnie or Arnold, but I will say he deserves to be up there. He deserves to be mentioned with some of the greats, with some of the greatest of all time. Like, this guy has accomplished a lot in this sport in a short amount of time. So big ups to Phil Heath, man. I mean, I'm a big Kai Gree fan, but like I said, Phil is the man right now. You cannot deny that. The real winner of this competition of the 2017 Mr. Olympia is Flex Wheeler. Flex Wheeler didn't win. I don't even know what he placed because well, he wasn't actually in the Olympia. Well, he was in the Olympia, but I guess it was a different category. What is it? The men's classic physique, I think it was. I don't even know if he placed. And you know, of course, he's 52 years old. Okay, so of course, he's a shadow of what he used to be. But it was just so inspiring, man. Like I followed Flex Wheeler for years. Like in the '90s, he was my favorite bodybuilder. So to see where he came from being a top contender to the kidney transplants, the surgeries, the setbacks, man, almost dying. This guy almost lost his life, and to come back from all that and to be back on the Olympia stage again, like when he gave his speech, I got emotional because it's like it was inspiring. Like no matter what you go through, no matter where you come from, man, or what you face in life, as long as you have a will and a dream, man, you can do that. I mean, I don't mean to get all motivational and shit, man, but I love stuff like that, man. Like that's a true Rocky story, man. He didn't win, but to me, he was the real winner that night, man. Like that was such an inspiring story, man. And that just made me want to go out there and just fucking just climb a mountain or something. You know what I mean? It was just inspiring, man. So big ups to Flex Wheeler, man. You did your thing, bro. You didn't win, but bro, you still came out on top, and you're an inspiration to a lot of people, man, including myself. So that's my take on the Olympia. What did you guys think about it? Do you think Phil Heath deserved to win? Do you think Big Ramy should have took the title, or who do you think should have won? Comment below, comment freely. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for tuning in. This is Rashad G signing out. See you in the next video.